Obama out.
Let's get into these emerging market opportunities.
People were truly sleeping on this NatPay partnership.
ZBEC Network
It's a actual system. It's something that can process and move money.
is positioning itself as a bridge between traditional finance and decentralized systems.
They're major.
Okay, now we got Faraday Future, and it's a California-based EV startup that was founded in 2014.
So zero gravity seats, every row has them. And someone goes, hey, look at the front of the car where the grill should be. There's a full screen.
So basically what you're looking at is the central hub of a plan to deeply integrate crypto and tokenization into the future of cars and robots. What's going on, everyone? Market Monarch here. Hope you guys have been blessed, man. You already know how I've been doing. So, as I'm sure you guys already noticed, your boy went to the baby face. I had the beard grown before, now I'm baby face. What's next? No, I'm just going for a regrow. I'm gonna grow out the goatee again. Look nice, clean, but I figured let's try out the baby face for a little bit. Anyways, currently we are in a major financial and technological transition. And what I noticed is that most people are still looking in the wrong places. So today, what we're diving into for the market mashup is two early stage opportunities, one being in the crypto sector. So we got ZBEC, and the other one being in the stock market sector. And that is Faraday Futures. And these two assets are currently in a position where they could be benefiting massively from this transition that we are now moving into, and with how the world is currently reshaping itself. And now we got Faraday Future, and it's a California-based EV startup that was founded in 2014. And you'll just see right here, Faraday Future hosts President's Cup. President's Cup Golf Friendship Tournament in Los Angeles, expanding EAI robot plus vehicle golf scenario. That within itself is crazy. And the EAI basically just stands for these human robots that we are now looking at. They have the little dog, they have the people, and then, well, not people, the human robots, and then they also have the electric vehicles. But what they're doing with the electric vehicles is way deeper than what people realize. Now, one of the coolest aspects to the electric vehicles that they're actually building and developing is they're building the luxury electric vehicles. They aren't just building regular electric vehicles. Because we already have electric vehicles being produced. You know, you got the Cybertruck, Tesla, all this and that. But these aren't really luxury electric vehicles. No. These guys are the ones that are creating these luxury AI MPVs or these AI EVs. And you'll even see right here, they're co-creation officers. Mariah Carey, Chris Brown, Sean Lee, Justin Bell, Jason Oppenheim, Cody Walker. Like, these are people that, if they're a part of a project like this, all I'm gonna say is it's much bigger than what people even realize. But that's not all. That's not all, because you'll see FF, which is the robots, and then you'll also see FX, which is the cars. And what they're doing is this dual brand strategy designed to bridge the US and Chinese automotive markets. So this bridge strategy splits operations into two distinct segments. You have Faraday Futures for the ultra luxury AI tech market, and then you have FX, which is targeting the mass market with affordable electric vehicles. So they have a area of the market that's for individuals, that's for the affordable sector, and then they also have the area of the market that's for the luxury sector.
I just watched a robot do backflips. I sat in a $300,000 car for the first time. And when someone showed me a basketball game playing on the front of an MPV. Let me explain. So Faraday Future flew me out to Vegas to host their launch event at the NADA show. They unveiled 3 robots. And look, I've seen robots at trade shows before, but I'm standing there. FF Master just starts doing karate, and then it danced, like actually dancing. Their quadruped robot Aegis was doing backflips. Their full-size humanoid robot Futurist was walking around, interacting with people, speaking different languages, having conversations. It's got a face on screen that can change expressions. I've been covering tech for a long time. I don't get like easily shook, but that room had a different energy when these things started moving and dancing. Pricing on these, because Faraday Future, and again, thank you to them for sponsoring this, asked me to share it. Futurist starts at $34,990, Master at $19,990, and Aegis at $2,499. So completely separate from the robots, they had an FF91 there. And I've never been that close to one. I've talked about the car, I've covered it, but never actually touched it. But then they let me sit in the FX Super 1, and that's when my brain kind of broke. So zero gravity seats, every row has them. Then someone goes, hey, look at the front of the car where the grill should be. There's a full screen that had an AI agent that you could talk to. They were showing a basketball game on it. Not a demo, not a logo, like an actual game going on in the front of the car. It was one of those nights where kind of you walk out and you're like, did that just happen? And the best part, these things are actually shipping this year. It's not just some vaporware coming, sometime in the future.
One of the craziest things you'll see is the AIXC, and this is an advanced interactive platform bridging Web 2 to Web 3, integrating education and seasonal competition to power the AIXC 3 forces. So you got EAI, RWA, and AI trading, as well as AI crypto asset management. They have a strategy to become the #1 gateway to AI Web 3 and bridge between Web 2 and Web 3. And the fact that these companies are now teaming up, they're now in this partnership, is huge, because this is the deeper connection that people don't even see that's happening behind the scenes with this whole robotic systems that Faraday Futures is building and their connection to the crypto scene. And when I really started to understand what the connections really mean to this company, that's when things really started to lighten up. So Faraday Future, who's connected to AL, or who's connected to AIX Crypto, AIX Crypto is connected to SEI and Xiaomi. So it appears to be this creation of a vertically integrated Web 2 to Web 3 ecosystem that converges AI-driven mobility, mass market blockchain access, and real-world tokenization. To me, this is what it kind of looks like. Faraday Future is building the physical embodied EAI layer. It's the powered vehicles, the robots. And then you got ALX Crypto. If you look on the stock exchange, they trade under AIXC, is the financial and tech bridge, having invested $10 million into FFAI. And then they're also partnered with SEI Network to build blockchain infrastructure for FF's mobility ecosystem. Isn't that interesting? And then you look into the SEI network, which provides the high-speed blockchain layer, now pre-installed on hundreds of millions of these Xiaomi phones globally, creating an instant massive user base for Web3. And then you'll see here, Chinese billionaire buys Miami Dolphins stake at $12.5 billion valuation. And you might look at this and think to yourself, well, how does this connect at all? It's the more strategic play that people aren't seeing. So Wealthy investors often put money into sports teams, media, tech companies, and then emerging financial systems because they control attention, culture, and capital flows. So what you're seeing is pieces of a bigger shift. You have the tokenization, which is new financial rails. You got the EV and AI, which is the future industries. And then you have the sports, which is the global audience and the branding. So this could be seen as positioning across multiple layers of the future economy. With Lin Bin having access to the Miami Dolphins, this gives massive audience reach, brand influence, and then cultural positioning. So imagine this: financial products, tech ecosystems, digital assets being marketed through those channels. This is the bigger play at hand. These investments are not random. They're a part of a bigger plan. Doesn't mean they're directly connected, but come on, if you're seeing all that, there's got to be some sort of connection. These things aren't just lining up for no reason. And then you'll also see here, SEI targets institutional adoption through partnerships with BlackRock, Apollo, Hamilton Lane. Market infrastructure grids connect enterprise partners including Circle, PayPal, Revolut, and Layer Zero. All of this is connected. All of this is connected to Faraday futures. And then you'll see right here, right? You got the phone apps and everything. So when blockchain gets integrated into cars and these robots, it will start paying for things like tolls, for gas. Like it's wild what this company is really being connected to and being built with. So the way I see it is people will interact with AI through the vehicles as well as those robots that they're building, because they're building those little dogs for security. They're building these robots to help teach, to mentor, to interact with people, to work. And then these interactions and assets are then tokenized and managed on the blockchain through the AIX cryptos infrastructure on SEI. SEI is heavily connected to major institutions, and the mass adoption gateway is the SEI wallet, which is pre-installed on those Zomi phones. I might be butchering that name a little bit, apologies, which is turning everyday users into potential participants in the ecosystem. And then Faraday Future itself is using its own $30 million C10 treasury to invest into crypto, aiming to generate revenue from staking to fund its EV business, creating a self-reinforcing dual flywheel type of economy. So in essence, they aren't just selling cars. They are owning the entire stack from AI hardware to the blockchain rails and the financial instruments that power a new tokenized economy for mobility. Remember, we are now moving into a day and age where everything's now being tokenized. So basically what you're looking at is the central hub of a plan to deeply integrate crypto and tokenization into the future of cars and robots. All I'm gonna say is, with the proper catalyst and the proper volume, this asset could very well see a strong move in their market. Now peep this, you'll see that the volume is starting to surpass the average volume. This is a sign that there is that breakout move that could be hitting the market, and it's literally at the brink of surpassing it. Currently, you'll see here it says 0.2748. They're currently sitting at about 0.29, and this is in the overnight trading. I originally bought in at 0.25. This was when I posted the asset in the market mashup group chat. I'll always post the assets that I'm going to talk about in the group chat before I actually post a video on them. So I was able to get in a bit earlier. I got in at about 24 cents, but I do suspect once they break above this 30-cent range, they might see a short little pullback back down to 0.2671. So I might place an alert there. This is not financial advice. This is just what I'm seeing, but I'd place an alert there. That way I can take advantage of the market if it does see a short little pullback. Then again, it does really look like they're on the verge of seeing that breakout move. So when it comes to take profit zones, if you're someone that, you're just looking for that short-term market volatility, you're not looking to really take a play, but just capture some quick profits, you have a take profit sitting at 0.4394, at least that I'm scouting, and then another take profit resting at 0.6620. How I plan to go about this is once I start seeing the market break above this 0.360 zone, this is when I plan to add on to my position. And then where I'd be looking for areas to sell is 0.90, 1.12, and 1.57. I still may capture some profits at the short-term area, 0.43, just depends on what I'm seeing in the market volatility. Now, one thing I also want you to take note of is when the institutions were buying in on this asset, okay? So the market really started seeing this decline happen in December. Well, they were seeing it beforehand, but they really started seeing the pullback down to where we're at now in December. December 31st is when Vanguard bought 188 million shares. BlackRock bought 2.53 million shares. Geode Capital bought 1.26 million shares. State Street bought 482,000 shares. And BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, I've said it before and I'll say it again, they basically run the global economy. And then Morgan Stanley bought 452,000 shares. Also, sorry, I didn't even see this right here. BlackRock also bought on that same day an additional 157,000 shares and an additional 11,000 shares. While even Charles Schwab bought like 67,000. Man, I'm looking at it here, and just on December 31st, they had over, it looks like almost like 10 million shares. And on top of that, they even have holders like Palantir that hold over 1 million shares. All I'm going to say is, if they seeing it, it might be a sign.
We're a more aggressive buyer when they're going down.
All I'm going to say is, if these institutions are loading up this heavily, and they loaded up as the market was pulling back, and they loaded up as much as they did, there's a sign that they knew something was coming way before the public knew. And it's not to say whenever institutions are getting in on an asset, we should always just dump our money into it. But when we have that many institutions buying, and there hasn't even been a pump in their market yet, one, there's a lot of money that's going to be behind the move that they do see. Two, and it has the global connections necessary in order to make this an asset that could be seen as very valuable moving forward. Man, so all I'm gonna say is we really do have two emerging market opportunities.